It's the bonus episode for the Con Man, and usual thing, I think first and foremost, is dealing with the book covers. So we'll make sure that these are on the, at least on the Twitter feed, if you want to look at them. There's been so many different editions of McBain books over the years that it's nice to look at the various ones, and tonight's one of the times when we've all got different copies of these things. I will just say, as an aside, I was looking at what versions of these books were available to buy new now, and the people that are publishing them now are actually an imprint of Amazon Publishing, and the covers are horrible. And I don't know whether it's just that you can only buy them through Amazon and they print them on demand or something like that. I don't know how that works, really. But I looked at the blurb on the back of Cop Hater, and it says something about a sniper being on the loose.
Really?
Well, they haven't even read the book then, because it's not a sniper.
That's terrible.
He's not gunning down police from rooftops.
No.
He's literally going up to them and shooting them with a big gun.
That's like a terrible lack of respect for what are actually really great books. So that's quite sad.
Yeah, I do. And I think possibly McBain's legacy is sort of damaged by the lack of availability of the 87th Precinct series, because, you know, much as it's nice to go hunting out for the old copies, and which we've all done, and, you know, we've got this sort of lovely patchwork of different editions that we all own.
Yeah.
To a new reader who likes to buy them and is interested in them, yeah, those are the ones. Steve-O's showing me them, graphic of them. They're not very interesting.
They look fairly unimaginative, don't they?
Yeah. Unlike the ones that we've got in our hands here. So, Morgan, yours is the earliest edition, I think, that we've got here, isn't it? So what year's yours from? It cost 2 and 6 anyway.
2 shillings and 6pence. Mine is actually the original Penguin paperback from 1957. It's the first UK edition.
Excellent stuff.
And it features a quite nice sort of stylised New York-ish city skyline, and then an also stylised female hand with a little red heart, which obviously, if you've read the book, makes a lot more sense than it does otherwise, and a little 87th precinct underneath. It's pretty classy, like you'd expect sort of Penguin crime books from the 50s to look.
Ones.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a beautifully designed little book.
Although I'm gonna ask you to check your date of publication. Is it not 1963?
It certainly says first. It is. Sorry, I'm such a moron. First published in Great Britain, 1963. It is the first Penguin
edition.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
And the reason I know is because I've got a later edition where it was reprinted twice in 1977 by Penguin, and I have one. They've moved away from the green spine for the crime novels at this point, but it has got. Now, if I describe mine, it has got a New York skyline with a lady's hand in the front coming out of what appears to be the water. So, descriptively, it's almost exactly the same as yours. The difference is the original edition has some really nice, intriguing graphic art, whereas mine has sort of crappy photography. And they miss off the little heart thing, which I think adds a really nice touch on that one.
Definitely, yeah.
Although they've kept the colour of the heart, I think possibly use that to colour in the title on my edition. And what my edition has is the 87th Precinct mystery badge on it as well.
Oh, yeah.
Which I have since used to develop a new little icon logo thing to use on our stuff.
Which is cool. But yeah, I did. Yeah, sorry about getting the date wrong, but I didn't read it properly, did I?
I was speaking to a man who had the copyright notice in front of him as well.
Can't
get away with that all the time.
I thought it was in quite good condition for a 60-year-old paperback. As it turns out, it's only like 50-odd years old. So,
it's in awful condition.
Dreadful.
Mine would have cost you 60p in the
what a con.
The decimalisation era.
Like for 2 and 6, it's a good book, but for 60p, God's sake.
And so we leap forward for Steve-O's copy.
Well, yeah, I've got these same edition that I've had for the first 3 as well. So I bought 4 together at the time, I remember.
The Orion editions.
Yeah, the Orion, $5.99, 2003. So yes, on the front, the Mac tattoo, but on somebody's arm.
So in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Great.
Laid on top of a $100 bill.
of which
And
there is no reference to in the book.
And a plastic evidence bag.
Well, we can assume that some of them were used at some point.
Yeah.
So
It's great they put so much effort into these things, isn't it? And just try and
there's
make sure they're totally relevant.
blood or tea or coffee dripped over the photo of the arm.
The three main fluids that the police deal with.
And
Yep.
So yeah, fairly unimaginative. They're fairly nice as they
They're
come.
all right,
but
the
they're
Orion
just-
editions. I mean,
They-
they were the
yeah.
main ones for a long time, I think.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah,
so-
they're not bad. I've got loads of those, and they're absolutely fine.
But for the next one, I think I got some more interesting older editions.
Yeah,
The first four, yes.
I have a
was,
horrible feeling for the next one, mine's like some terrible thing that came on the front of a magazine.
Oh, excellent.
But, so that's going to be a laugh.
Yeah. Now, the one thing that we failed to really discuss in the main podcast, and we should discuss for two reasons, is Teddy Carella's role in the book. But well, not necessarily a role in the book, but her role in the TV episode, because she has a lot to do with how the book plays out and how the jeopardy and the stakes are ramped up for the police force at the end. But the actress you were pleased to find out about in the 87th Precinct TV series.
Well, yeah, Gena Rowlands.
Gena Rowlands.
Who I'm mainly aware of as sort of like quite a sort of well-renowned art house actress from the works of like John Cassavetes and things like that. I had no idea that she'd ever played Teddy Carella, so that's fantastic.
Now, what's your take on Cassavetes?
Definitely either a misogynist or a genius.
One of the
or
two.
possibly both.
Yeah. Messiah?
Maybe not that. I do enjoy him in Rosemary's Baby, though.
Indeed.
He's very good in that.
It's a bit funny that she was cast there in that, because she doesn't look like Teddy Carella is described in the book. And I
Not
know
at
that
all.
obviously...
She's got dark hair in the books, hasn't she?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Raven-haired beauty.
Yeah.
Significantly so. And I think also the reason that the tattoo that features in the story, she gets a little black tattoo, is because it's supposed to match her hair as much as anything.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's like her signifier is that she's not just the blonde beauty that you would expect in these stories, the sort of stylized, typical type of thing. She's this intriguing and complex woman who's got this particular look about her as well as being a deaf mute, which brings all its other challenges and ways of telling the story. So it was interesting to see Gena Rowlands. It was interesting to see I didn't know about her Cassavetes art house film links there. It was a good cast in general, as we said. Robert Lansing, very good. I can't wait till we get on to discussing the Columbo links, because I love Columbo, and it seems like there's so many links with Ed McBain. There's some very direct ones, and I need to sort of do a terrifying like mind map with bits of string and pictures on a wall, like a maniac might do in a film about a maniac, linking all these things together, because I reckon there's loads of things.
If you were to do like another 87th Precinct series, and you could have anyone from dead or alive, Patrick Magoon as the deaf man, he'd be amazing.
Can you
wouldn't
imagine?
he?
Oh, blimey, Steve-o, you've blown my mind.
I know,
there.
yeah.
That is absolutely... Gosh.
We've yet to get on to the deaf man, who's...
That's a good
that's
point.
going to be a good episode when we
get there. We're
to
about... I think we're
not
about...
a million miles away from
eight
when
books
it...
maybe
yeah.
away from it, something like that. Might not even be that far off.
Yeah, I think...
I'd have to look at my list, which I'm not going to do now.
No.
But the deaf man is definitely worth waiting for. And Patrick
He really
McGowan
is.
as a deaf man, that is...
It would be tremendous.
If only we could manipulate time, space, the media industry.
Who then would be a good modern equivalent for the deaf man?
That's a tricky. My problem is I have a terrible recollection for actors who are around. So it would be nice to... Maybe we'll open this question up to the world, not that I expect necessarily anyone to answer us.
Maybe we can have a think for next time.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
What about Carella or anyone?
Exactly. And well, we'll just say, actually, this is something that... this is sort of a question submitted by a listener, in that avid listener and fan Lorraine Ramage asked, if you were casting it now, would you necessarily have everyone the same race that they are in the books? Could you make Carella black or East Asian? Could you do that now, or would you have to do it as the book says? Because obviously we're invested in the characters from the books, and they're the ramming home of their characteristics in every story, the descriptive things. Would it matter if Maya was, not Jewish, but was a woman even? Yeah.
I don't know.
It's always,
would they be then the same characters? I suppose
That's
begs the question.
I mean,
the more you move away, the more it's becomes something different, I would say.
But that's true.
Not necessarily wrong, but just all right, but just different.
I think sometimes it's
you're creating something different.
But it's the job of a good casting director, producer to sort of have the confidence to do that sort of thing sometimes, and then the audience often will receive that as absolutely a positive thing. It's like the Doctor Who argument and having everyone going, "Oh, Doctor Who's just a man and he's white." It's like, well,
who's the next James Bond?
Or James Bond type thing.
Yeah.
And sometimes it just takes someone to be bold enough to just recognise that this huge percentage of other people on the planet, whether it's gender-based or race-based, are,
I suppose,
as equally skilled or more skilled for the job that's being particularly advertised.
I suppose when you've got all of the ensemble introduced, though, you've got the black cop, the female cop, the Italian-American cop, the Jewish cop, you've got the young cop, you've got the tall, handsome cop, you've got the misogynist cop, you've got the fat cop, you've got the...
I guess like McBain introduced these different characters for different reasons, and he was trying to represent...
So you've got one of all these different... So the entire point is they're all there somewhere.
Possibly to a modern reader it might even seem like almost clumsy the way he does that, but probably at the time it was like fairly bold to like try and actually make it a really multicultural kind of... precinct, really.
Yeah, he was trying to represent the city that he saw growing up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which New York.
Is it Hernandez? Is it the the Hispanic cop who's in? He must be coming up quite soon because they're quite early novels that he's involved in.
Does he crop up in Lady I Did It?
Can't remember
before that.
Yeah, quite early-ish.
That's going to be a good one.
Well, I think.
In changing them, as these books work, I don't think it really changes anything because their entire point is that they're there and representative of the population at the time.
Yeah, well, it's certainly...
So if you were to change one, you'd have to change somebody elsewhere, if you see what I mean.
Oh, yeah, well, it's possible, yeah.
Would be my view.
Yeah, it's an interesting point, though, and it's obviously something that a lot of productions wrestle with now,
so
I think.
tell Lorraine that, if she's listening.
If she's listening. Let's hope so. But yeah, well, let's have a think about casting choices because
you'd need to.
Yeah,
long hard deliberation.
Let's all have our cast ready for next time.
Yeah, we'll do our homework, and I'll start my terrifying Maniacs pinboard of links to Columbo.
Amazing.
I always knew this is how my life was going to pan out.
And wheel it in
on the board. We might have to do that as a live video broadcast. We'll have to do it like that.
Fantastic.
Okie dokie. So I think that's enough from our bonus episode. So until next time, from me to there,
and from there to me,
to you,
and over here.
Good
Till
evening.
then, goodbye.
See you.